thinking about the future and how that's going to look in the next 10, 15, 50 years even, you know.
What are you thinking that long term, 50 years?
Yeah, if you don't, then, you know, it will be a damaged place.
Okay, so we're back in sunny Stockport at the Loft, and now we're joined by Roisin from ACS Construction Group.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming, mate. Yeah, thanks for coming in, you know, having a look at this place. You're saying you've not been here before?
No, it's very nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've not been here before. I quite like it. There's some good sort of beers that are taking my eye at the minute. ACS.
Yes.
What is it? What is it's civil engineering? Got that? What's that?
So we're a civil engineering company based in Cheadle Hulme. We started in Bredbury, but then once established, moved to Cheadle Hulme. And we focus a lot we specialise in high-risk environments. And a lot of our work's focused on industrials, energy and renewables, groundworks and civils. But recently we've delved into the utilities industry with our new utilities company, which is ACS Multi-Utilities. So that's all new for us, but it's exciting. Yeah, as the world's going more that way and caring more about the environment.
Nice. No, good. That's, yeah, but we definitely like how important is that sort of green issue for you guys? Like you say, the world's going that way, but it's not just because the world's going that way. I'm guessing it's because it makes a positive impact.
Yeah, of course. We focus a lot on sustainability. So we've got our Silver Sustainability School Award, and it's very important to us because I think it should be important to everyone. And yeah, we like focusing a lot on that. We have a team dedicated towards it, and we've got targets to hit, which we always try and be on target for, even away from the construction side. Yeah, it's very important.
And like you say, so civil engineering is one of those kind of sectors that sort of, you know, you don't know it's there until you miss it kind of thing. It's kind of, you know, invisible almost. What is civil engineering in a nutshell? I think that goes for us because a lot of our work is high risk. It's like you don't really notice it until something goes wrong. Yeah.
So, for us, civil engineering is making sure like the big infrastructure is all in place and it just keeps the local communities going, the towns, and, you know, also building stuff like schools, giving back to the community, and then big frameworks to do with like oils and refinery. More on the coast of the country.
Obviously, saying there, the word local came up a few times.
Yeah.
Now, you guys hire a lot of local workforce, 70%?
Yes, yeah.
SK postcodes?
Yeah.
Why is that important to you guys?
I think it's important to us because when you're local, it creates a sense of pride and accountability, especially for the work you do, because it's, you know, your families that are seeing them sites when they go past, etc. So I think it's a different level of care that goes into it. And as over 70% of our staff do have SK postcodes, when we give back to charities, we like to do local ones because it has a place in people's hearts.
Nice. And then some of the charities that you guys work for, the Wellspring.
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Well, they're on our doorstep. I feel like if you're benefiting off the town's growth, then it's your responsibility to give back as a business. So the Wellspring, the Care Leavers Covenant, also in Stockport, and then a lot of Stockport schools as well. We go into to give back to the local community, like educating them on the industry. A lot of people don't really know too much about it until they leave and go into higher education, but it's nice to spread awareness early because then they know what subjects, etc. they should pick if they want to go down that route.
Yeah. And you do a lot of work with schools, colleges, places like that.
Yeah. A couple to mention, like Priestall, Stockport College, which is a big group with Stockport.
I used to go to Stockport College.
Did you?
I did. Many years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a great bunch of people there. We work quite closely with them, so it's nice.
Nice. Why is it important to, like you were saying there, get young people interested in these kind of topics? Like you say, do you talk to them about like green issues and things like that?
Yeah, I think it's got a lot more interest in young people now because not only do they see the economic side of it, you know, it's a good industry to go in, there's good money in it, but also you're building for a better future, which is what we like to reiterate to them.
It's their future, it's them that are going to be inhabiting that.
Yeah, exactly. Again. So, and then I think it holds a place in the heart then when they hear that and they can relate to it a bit more.
Yeah. And like you say that, I guess, you know, going back to what you were saying earlier about people having that pride in the place where they're from, where they come from. Like, you know, we spoke a lot with SK Proud about how Stockport's changed. You know, it's not, you know, a fair few years ago, it wouldn't necessarily be that kind of I'm from Stockport kind of vibe. But why do you think it's changed? What's changed in Stockport to now?
I think it's just more up and coming, and I think a lot of young people are now focused on with like the going out scene, obviously, and that's changing heavily. You don't even really need to go to Manchester anymore for a night out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at this place.
Yeah, it's on a lot of people's doorsteps. But also like there's many local businesses, which obviously is making the town grow. And yeah, like Foodie Friday.
What's Foodie Friday? Someone mentioned that before.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you've done a few Foodie Friday, right? What is it? Because I feel like I would enjoy this.
I think you would, yeah. One Friday a month just in Stockport, and there's loads of like independent food stalls, music. So it's a nice place for people to get together. But I think they go to that and then they realise how good Stockport is for a night out, and then, you know, can keep coming back.
Nice. And that's important as well, because like you say, you know, younger people, again, I'm probably a little bit older than you, probably a lot older than you. But like when I was younger, it would be Manchester that you were heading to, places like that. But for you now, having that little taste, literally little taste of Foodie Friday, and feeling like you can go out in Stockport.
Yeah, for sure. It's just similar with me, like, you know, when I turned 18, going out clubbing, you're really dragged to Manchester. Whereas now when I go out, maybe even since COVID, obviously you went out of it like closer to home. So I think that changed as well for a lot of people.
So the area feels like it is, because, you know, again, we spoke a lot on this about like that kind of mix in Stockport that you've got of that old and that new, you know, the beautiful heritage buildings that you've got mixed in with, like you say, that culture that's coming through with music, of food and things like that.
Yeah. And even if going out's not your scene, there's also, you know, we've got like nice walks along the River Mersey, the Peak District's local to us. There's a bit of everything to do.
Nice. And is that important to you as a person? Like you say, obviously a young person living in Stockport, like, you know, I guess it feels now more sort of attainable to kind of put roots down and kind of like you say, because you've got that greenery on your doorstep and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's such good transport links here that if you did want, you know, more of a city, you can easily go there. But then again, you can also go to greener places and have a more wholesome time. It kind of caters for all.
And talking about like going to a city, obviously Manchester's on the doorstep, we know that, but Stockport's got great links to the Big Smoke, you know, London. What is the difference there from your point of view of kind of London to Stockport kind of vibes?
I do love London, but I think Stockport, it's more collaborative. People are more closer. You walk around, see a lot more familiar faces. Then, like, I have friends in London, like they wouldn't say the same with that. So I think it's a nice sense of community here. And because of that, people work closer together. Things aren't really a competition, especially in industries like construction. You have to work together with subcontractors and, you know, it gets the job done. So I think that's a nice feel about Stockport.
Yeah, and Northerners, we're just nicer. We're just nice people. We still talk to people on the bus. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I've always felt that. Like you say, to me, Stockport is such a great space because it's still a town, right? So it's not got that kind of big city feel where everyone's kind of tunnel vision on their things. It's still got that kind of collaborative sort of feel. And obviously in a sector like yours, like you were saying there, collaboration is key, right? Working with contractors, working with people.
Yeah, it's a must, yeah.
What makes you SK proud?
I'm proud of being from Stockport. I mean, I was born in Saffron Hill.
Oh, very, very, very Stockport then.
Lived here my whole life. My primary school was here, and I think I'm proud because of the way it's going. I think Stockport itself as a town knows the way it's heading. It's just ever growing. And yeah, it makes you proud because the people that come from here, it's got a good culture. There's bands, like it's a cool place. I've probably seen recently Netflix series, a lot of them are featuring Stockport. Yeah, that's what makes me SK proud.
Nice. Yeah, like you say, again, going back to that, it's you know, being seen a lot more now. There's a lot more eyes on the place, like say whether it's being used for TV shows or things like that. And then you were just saying there, I can't remember the exact words that you said, but something like you say Stockport's kind of on the up sort of thing. If we had a magic crystal ball, where do you see both ACS going in the next 5, 10, 15 years? Where do you see Stockport as a whole going in the next, 5, 10, 15 years?
I see them both growing quite parallel, and it's exciting for both because ACS would be very keen to get involved with a lot of the growth in Stockport. We've already had some big contracts in Stockport, like the WFEL, like Vitties, Quorum. So as a lot of our work has been focused here before, which is successful, it's nice to get involved with the growth of Stockport. In the next 10, 15 years, I see it heading even to more as its own like small city centre rather than a town, just because it is growing massively. And there's more of a culture as in going out again, eating, having fun, drinks. So I think it's just going to attract more and more people.
And do you feel like it is becoming its own little mini city centre?
Definitely. Yeah. I just think it's always on the go. There's always something going on. Even like the other day, I went to a new Pilates studio.
Oh, nice.
Small changes like that. Like you see a lot of them in Manchester, and they're quite on with the trends, but Stockport's now that way as well.
Yeah, if you'd have said to someone 5 years ago in Stockport, Pilates, they'd have been like, what?
Yeah,
Where now
exactly.
it's that kind of...
Yeah, they're getting everything, yeah.
Moving with the times.
Yeah. So
let's just quickly like kind of go back into that kind of, because I think it's massively important. The kind of stuff you do with charities and things like that. What kind of stuff do you do with them?
Yeah, I think for us it's important as a company because a lot of companies get asked to do charity work and tick a box to get on frameworks, etc. But the sector that we're in, we don't get asked to do that because it's a lot of private sector work. So we just do it because we want to. So the Care Leavers Covenant, for example, the Wellspring, we make sure that people have a lot of food in, seasonal times of the year, especially when money's harder on people and the weather is cold, make sure they're warm and provide clothing for them. So yeah, we like to give back in that way.
No, that's, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, especially if it's something, because we all see it, don't we? These big companies going, oh, we do this, we do that. And it is box ticking sometimes, where you like say you guys are doing it because you want to, not because you have to. Yeah. And that again is that, I think that northern spirit, that Stockport kind of spirit of helping other people, lifting people up. And again, let's just delve a little bit deeper, I guess. I know we sort of touched on it, but like, how are you guys hitting them green? I know you said you've won silver. What was it? Silver
chain sustainability.
I'll never remember that, but that's silver supplies chain sustainability. What kind of stuff are you guys doing? What kind of stuff are you guys implementing to get, a prestigious award like that?
Yeah, a lot of it's to do with our buying materials and making sure they're sustainable and going on sites. It's even small things that just add up. Say if there's a group of people going to a site together, lift share instead of all driving separately. And we've moved all of our company cars to electric rather than diesel. It's just small things that add up, I think. And then over time, it makes a massive difference.
And it's things that you look at and go, how is this not making sense before? Why weren't we doing this before?
Yeah, sure.
And easy changes rather than big changes, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Just the day-to-day stuff, and then it creates a bigger picture.
Nice. And does that have a positive impact on the people as well, do you think?
Yeah, well, they know then that you care about the space they're working in, and you're not just thinking about the current project or the current times, you're thinking about the future and how that's going to look in the next 10, 15, 50 years even, Oh,
you're thinking that long term, 50 years?
Yeah, if you don't, then, it will be a damaged place.
Well, that's it. I think you've got to think of the planet and the place you live, Stockport, when we're not here. Because again, going back to Stockport and how beautiful it is and all this, these buildings that we can see, again, for the viewers, we're right in front of that market space and stuff like, the people who built that, they're not around now, I don't think.
Well, yeah, you're doing it for future generations, yeah.
Thank you very much for chatting with us today,
Thank you for having me.
Wasn't that bad, was it? It was okay?
No.
Thank you for chatting with us and keep being SK proud.
Thank you. Well done.
Make sure you do.